WordPress, you guys are going on your 10-year anniversary. Take me back to the early days. I mean, where did you get the inspiration to start something like WordPress?
It was really very, very modest. I just was blogging myself and wanted better software. I think the thing that brought people together early with WordPress was that we had a philosophy. We wanted to democratize publishing, so make it easy for anyone, anywhere in the world to have a beautiful website, and open, right? The idea that you own the software just as much as me. There's a bill of rights attached to the software. It means no one can ever take it away from you, no one can change the parameters on which you can use it. And that's really the core of open source, and that's with us to this day. Without open source, we wouldn't be here.
If we were sitting here talking in 10 years, what would we be talking about?
I think probably within the next 5 years, we'll transition to a majority or supermajority of WordPress usage coming from touch devices, including things that might look like laptops and have keyboards, but they'll be primarily touch-driven.
We talked Tumblr. A lot of people are talking about the sale because Tumblr just sold to Yahoo. Big deal in the tech community. Do you think that there will be a bit of a backlash in general for some of the folks who were on Tumblr before?
I hope not. I think that Yahoo needs Tumblr to work, and they need a social network. And really, the only criticism I'd have for the whole deal is I think they sold for too little. People get passionate about their blogs in a way they don't get passionate about their Twitter profile or their Facebook profile. Because fundamentally, you're a digital sharecropper on someone else's domain when you're facebook.com/Laurie Siegel, right? It's not yours. It's own domain when you can really have control over every aspect of it, when it can really represent you. That's when people get passionate about it.
So what happens to you guys? Because I'm sure you guys have had offers to sell. Any successful tech company, let's be honest, has offers to they have a parent company that'll offer you these resources and whatnot. Do you guys stay independent?
I think that we are always part of the independent web. Because just at our core DNA is this open source side of it. Even if let's say a company were to buy Automatic, WordPress, which is bigger than Automatic, would still exist as an open source thing. And that's why people are able to trust it, I think, to a higher degree, because like I said, it has this bill of rights. The good news is, though, that we're profitable and we have no intentions to not be an independent company. Probably the only scenario where I could imagine Automatic selling to a larger thing is if I got to run the larger thing.
Right.
That could be kind of fun, actually, because then you might have like 30,000 people working for you instead of 300 or 3,000. But other than that, most acquisitions are not interesting from a creative control point of view.
Are there any times you can look back on over this decade, because why not reminisce a little bit, that you were just saying, my God, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. This movement might have been a little tougher.
Oh, so many times. When I was in college, I didn't really take any computer science, but I took political science courses,
right.
Which is lucky because it turns out that's way more useful for running an open source project than anything technical. Just the interaction of people is highly complex, and people with different motivations and people coming and going. And I would say the tough community, for whatever reason. In terms of failures, I don't think we sort of embraced mobile early enough, partially because the open source community doesn't really like these closed platforms. We're doing fantastic on the web and growing that percentage, but I don't feel like our mobile apps are really where they should be yet.
What keeps you up at night?
Actually, the thing that keeps me up the most is when I just can't sleep because there's a million things running through my head around, like Automatic's now 170. Like, what do the next 500 people look like? What does that look like organizationally? How do we help people grow in their roles? People who joined very junior. I love the idea of people joining